welcome to Cuddle with Purpose. And we're going to be talking about on this specific episode, RHOP, the Real Housewives of Potomac. And I'm going to give a brief overview of season 7, episode 7. And it's been a lot of controversy that's been going on this reality show. And it's been kind of hard to watch for me. I definitely me and my wife enjoy watching reality shows. And this show has been spectacular from a perspective where there's always something going on. But what I want to touch on is a couple of things off of episode 7. I want to discuss with Mia and Wendy. And I think it's something that is very important, the dynamics of this relationship. And I feel from Wendy's perspective is that there has been some controversy between Wendy and Mia, Wendy, Giselle, and Wendy and Robin. And it's been very uncomfortable, I know, for me to watch because when you watch it, it seems like they're trying to ice her out. And when I say they, I'm talking about Mia, I'm talking about Giselle, I'm talking about Robin. And it seems like it's been very coerced. And what I mean by that, there has been some strategies to ice her out. There's been some strategies to clearly make her feel uncomfortable on the trips and uncomfortable being on the show. And I want to kind of delve into a little bit. There was a scene where, Mia and Wendy spills over. And then in a complete flip of events, and actually in this actual episode, it actually got caught off guard where Mia actually started some controversy with Wendy based off on the situation that Peter Thomas had felt. Now, let me tell you something about my thing about Peter Thomas. When he made the statement that to Mia on how he was upset and he got beef with Wendy because she was in his town and in his restaurant and she didn't reach out to let him know that she was in town. Now, let me tell you something, man. Wendy is married, number one. Number two, she don't owe you anything to reach out to you when she's on a trip with the girls. I just think it's full of shit from him to even bring that up. The audacity of you to bring that up. Maybe you should need to be focused on more on your restaurant business instead of focusing on trying to get another sucker to go in business with you, because there's been a lot of negative things about how he runs his businesses. And I was very thrown back when I saw Wendy even had a sit down conversation with this joker. I felt the husband should have stepped in, and the husband should have been like, no, we're not going to do business with him. There's been a lot of controversy around this cat, and I don't want you doing business with him at all. And that should have been in the story. And I hope this even shows or exemplifies even more to Wendy's discernment that she should not do no type of business dealings with that cat. Now, Mia, on the other hand, gets upset with Wendy, and she's trying to take up, like she called Peter Thomas, family. And she got the audacity to get all mad and bothered towards Mia because she felt she should have told Peter Thomas, hey, this is what's up. I got the money. I want to do business with you. Or I don't have the money. I don't want to do business with you. But Mia, why are you in their business? Why are you in this business? And why are you getting so mad about the situation where you felt the need that you need to throw a whole glass of wine on Wendy? Now, I'm going to tell you something, man. Wendy did a great job in holding her composure in that situation, because that situation could have easily went left. And I felt when you have someone that throws a whole glass of wine, all gloves comes off. And I felt for Wendy, her gloves coming off was her saying everything that she could to cut Mia up with her words. And she did just that. I didn't have no problem with it. I didn't feel that she did anything wrong with it, because at the end of the day, when two people are talking trash to one another, that is completely fair, especially in the realm of reality TV. But when it gets out of hand, when you have someone that feels like they need to cause some type of bodily harm to the other individual, that's a problem. And to me, that's a problem with someone who can't control their emotions, and someone when they know there's some validity of truth coming out. You know when they say when you throw a brick, a hit dog will holler. Well, Mia is that dog. Mia is that dog. Wendy threw the brick and it hit Mia and she started hollering. And the only way she started hollering is start trying to be physical by throwing wine, and then have the audacity to take her pocketbook and hit Wendy. Man, let me tell you something, man. That's inexcusable. There is no excuse where any of those ladies should take upon themselves to put their hand or object on another woman. That is out of bounds, and you're not a queen for that. Now, let's get into the situation. While that situation was happening, you have Robin. Robin, on the other hand, pulls out her phone. And I find it quite uncomfortable for me that Robin want to pull out the phone and just record Wendy. And then she had the audacity to go on this show and said the reason why she was doing it because she was trying to look out for Wendy because she has more to lose. That is total bullshit. Robin is so much full of shit. It's almost the same full of shit as she is in a relationship with her husband, Juan. And let me tell you something, man. It really shows the disdain and the nastiness of Robin. If anybody who has had their emotions out of whack on the whole tenure of the show has been Robin. Robin has tried to pick a fight with pretty much everyone besides her best buddy, which is Giselle. And why is that? Why is it she has full of energy for everybody else, but when it comes to Giselle, she can't seem to find nothing negative to say about Giselle? And that's a problem. And this is where we get in where a lot of people have been talking about colorism. This is where even with Candace, has you seen Giselle has been saying something about Candace's husband as she felt uncomfortable around Candace's husband. But I find it quite odd, Giselle, that you didn't find that it was inexcusable and uncomfortable and out of pocket for you to talk about Candace's husband private parts in public in front of the other women. That is the BS to what I'm saying, that they need to be called out to the full carpet. And I'm talking about Giselle and I'm talking about Robin, because they are instigators, and people need to know and understand the temperature of the room who you're laboring among. And you got to play the game the right way, because what they do is they'll throw knives at you and then hide their hand like they wasn't the ones that threw it. And that is the manipulation of Giselle. That is the manipulation of Robin. That is even the manipulation of Mia, because I feel Mia is right along the ride, right along tag teaming with Giselle and Robin. And then you had Mia, now she want to try to play and double down by saying it was intolerable for her to throw wine in Wendy's face. But you know what? A true apology would be more acceptable. And you know what? In my eyes, there are certain things that you can apologize that all you want, but it's up to that person whether they want to accept your apology. And what I'm saying to you for Wendy is to continue to keep doing what you're doing. Keep your head level and understand who you're laboring among. And I think for Wendy and Candace, you have to understand the players in the game. You have to understand that Giselle doesn't have anything to talk about in her own personal life. So she wants to bring a lot of chaos and confusion in other people's marriages and in their own life. Because let me tell you this, misery loves company. And when I'm telling you about Giselle and Robin, misery loves company, because when people are not happy in their own relationships or not secure in their own relationships, and they feel that, they covet your relationship and that you have with your husband, and they wish that their husband, could be able to treat them with respect and everything like that. You have to understand they want to bring the worst out of you, because they feel that y'all have too much to lose, or y'all have a lot of things going good for yourself. So they want to try to tear down and break what y'all have built. Don't allow negative behind people to bring you down on their level. When they go low, you have to go high. That's why I commend Wendy. And if you watch it, the producer was telling Wendy after the second time when Mia came back and she started pointing her finger in her face, and then that's when she tried to throw the pocketbook, and I think the pocketbook did hit Wendy, but the producer broke it up because Wendy was about to go at her. But then the producer had said, don't do that. Don't be like her. Don't stoop down to that level. And I'm going to tell you something. It's hard sometimes. It's hard, especially if you're in an environment where you don't feel that you have anybody there that has your back. And this is what pissed me off about Karen Hooger. See, Karen Hooger plays two sides of the fence, and you have to watch her, because what she did, as you will see on the next episode coming up on episode 8, is that you see her walking out to Mia in that SUV. And she's talking to Mia because she was the one that I think introduced Mia to the show. And you have to understand, Karen, wrong is wrong. And when you say something out of your mouth that two wrongs don't make a right to Mia, where was Wendy wrong at? Now, Wendy owned up and said that, you know what, I said it out of anger because that bitch threw a whole glass of wine on me. So, yeah, I said it out of anger. I said that, hey, me and my husband don't flow like that. We don't roll like that. Now, maybe you and your husband, y'all roll like that. Y'all be fucking men, fucking women and all this type of stuff. But we don't play games like that. We don't play that type of atmosphere. And Wendy said, yes, some of the stuff I had said out of anger because I was mad. I was mad. I wanted to go at her physically because what she did to me. She threw a whole glass of wine at me. She assaulted me. So when Wendy took ownership of that, understand is that was her way of getting back. Karen, I wonder how would you feel, Karen, if Mia would have threw a whole glass of wine at you? What would have been your response? And you have even said so yourself. You have said some things that wasn't possibly true, but Wendy did say that she heard a rumor out there in how Mia and her husband, how they roll. Hell, Mia had even said that she used to be a call girl. She used to be one of those women that would bring champagne and all this stuff to men, and that's how she met her husband. She said that. So what would make you think that Mia and her husband don't have those type of arrangements? It wouldn't be no surprising to me. But the thing that bothers me is the colorism that I see. Why is it that I'm seeing the bashing of Wendy? It's been a total bashing of Wendy ever since when she came on the show. From the part when she had got some things on her body parts done, you had Giselle and Robin that was sitting here trying to come up with this narrative that she felt she didn't have that much self-care and self-confidence within herself, that she was lacking that confidence, and she didn't feel that she was enough for her husband. So she felt that she had the need to actually get something done on her body to make herself feel better about herself. What? There is nothing wrong for someone having cosmetic surgery that they feel that they want and need to better themselves. That doesn't mean they have low self-esteem. That is not always the case. But I feel ever since Wendy came on the show, she has felt that she has to defend herself because she's belong on the show just like everyone else. She has credentials. She is highly educated. She is a scholar, and that intimidates a lot of people. And you have to understand, when you're around jealous people, they will manipulate anything that they can to try to make you look bad. And then as the altercation ended, you had Mia called her husband after the situation, and she wanted her husband to book a flight for her to leave that next morning. And then Wendy, it looked like that she prepared to leave the house that night when she got back. And you have Ashley Darby. She's actually reaches out to Wendy to knock on the door in her room to make sure that she was okay and see what she was going to do. But then you see all the other women, all the other haters is in a room together. You have Mia, you have Giselle, you have Robin, you have Sharice, and then you have someone else. And they're sitting down, and then you have Robin, you have Giselle cracking jokes. She said, "I feel like tomorrow's going to be a great day," as Wendy's preparing herself to leave. Let me tell you something, man. Candace was not there. Now, do I feel if Candace was there, Candace could have had diffused the situation? Possibly a little bit, because I felt Wendy did not have anyone there to help her. Wendy did not have anyone there to help her. And when you're around wolves in sheep clothing, it is hard for you to protect yourself by yourself. You need to have at least one ride or die person with you that can be able to help you. And Wendy has found herself in a situation like, I'm not about to be up in the house when I feel I have no one here that can help protect me, and I feel like I'm all alone by myself on someone who has tried to do bodily harm to me. I don't feel like laying my head in that house. I don't feel like laying my head in that house because somebody may try to do something, and I think it's a smart move. And it's going to be very interesting on the next episode to see and how Wendy explains her health. I'm team Wendy. I'm team Wendy on the situation. I feel the situation has got out of hand, and I do feel the same way Wendy feels when she feels that there's a lot of controversy of people that's trying to set her up on the show, people that's trying to ice her out on the show. You can see it. If you even believe Wendy, just if you have two eyes, even if you had one eye that you can see, even if you had ears that you can hear, if you listen to the words out of these women's mouth, if you watch with your eyes and watch their actions gonna always speak louder than words. Don't tell me what's going on. Let me look and see what's going on. And when I can see exactly for what it is, Wendy is 110% right. And I like how she handled herself. I did not like the disclaimer that you had John Hopkins had put up. And I don't know if it was really John Hopkins, or I don't know if Bravo had wanted to put that up there for John Hopkins. But all I know, there has been a lot of controversy on a lot of shows. And I think that's the first time that I've ever seen something like that. Understand, Wendy is doing another hustle. And what I'm saying to you, that has nothing to do with Johns Hopkins. Yes, she mentioned him because that's who she works for. She's a professor for Johns Hopkins. So what I'm saying to you, for them to put that disclaimer up, it's another strike or someone trying to ice out Wendy. And it's a sad commentary. It's a sad situation. I hope Wendy, stay strong and be okay, because I want her to get her coins. She deserves to be on the show. She worked hard to be on that show, and she has great content on the show. She brings substance to the show. I like seeing black, melanated, dark-skinned people that's on the show, because I root for them, because I want them to be the best version of themselves. And I'll be damned, I don't want nobody that feel that they have some type of power over her to try to get her kicked off the show or try to ice her off the show. She needs her coins, every cent of her coins, just like Giselle does. And where does Giselle gets off and Mia gets off trying to count her pockets like she broke? Y'all don't know what's in that woman's bank account. Y'all don't know what type of diversification she got with her wealth, with her and her husband. Shame on every last one of you. Shame on you, Giselle. Ain't got a pot to piss in, but yet you got the audacity to talk about somebody else's pockets? Where we do that at? I do not like when you have people that try to size up other people based off on how they look, based off on what they drive, based off what house they in. Shame on y'all. Get a life. Worry about your own self and your own pockets instead of worrying about everybody else's pockets or what they got going on. The audacity. I mean the complete audacity. So, man, I really appreciate y'all for tuning in and watching this whole episode of season 7, episode 7 of Real Housewives of Potomac. I'm looking forward to watching episode 8 to get a whole full rundown on how everyone feel, how everything went down off the last episode. So y'all stay tuned. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you're commenting. What are your thoughts? Do you feel that there is colorism that is going on the Real Housewives of Potomac this season? Do you feel that Wendy is being iced out by Giselle and Robin and Mia? Do you feel that they are picking on her? Do you feel that they are jealous of her? Do you feel that there's any warrant that's based off on what Wendy and Candace is saying? How do you feel about Candace in the situation of Giselle? Giselle saying that she felt uncomfortable when Candace's husband came and talked to her. How do you feel about that? What are your thoughts? Let me know. Hit that bell notification so that way you can get updated of new content that's coming your way. On the Cuddle with Purpose, we're going to be talking about reality pop culture and reality shows. But we also going to be talking about marriage. We're going to be talking about family. We're going to be talking about how to manage your finances, how to manage your credit, because all those things goes along with family as well and marriage. So, from Samuel Richardson and my wife, TTTL Richards, we appreciate every subscriber that subscribe to us on our show. Continue to support us, and we'll see you soon. Take care.